Being a finalist for the 2022 Community Industry Award is such a humbling and exciting honor.
It is super validating. I'm exactly where I need to be.
It shows just how far I've come.
Gives recognition to the meaningful work that my team and I are putting in every day.
It means a lot to me.
It feels amazing to reach here and for CMX to recognize and validate all the work that we've done.
It means a lot to us.
It's an honor to be among some amazing communities.
It's a testament to the incredible community team that we have here at Zoom.
It truly is a highlight of my life.
It's a very good reminder for me that I can be a good professional and a decent family member and mother.
Everyone in the team's been working really hard this year, doing amazing, growing the community.
We have worked really hard to create an atmosphere that encourages peer-to-peer connections and collaboration, providing our ecosystem various ways to advance their own knowledge while raising the proficiency of others in attendance.
What is the biggest achievement for us as a team in 2021? It's when we see our members all come together, sharing their expertise, sharing their enthusiasm and learning, and really helping each other grow.
The successful launch and continued growth of the Zoom community was certainly the biggest accomplishment for our team.
Our creator community stepped up to every challenge that we put in front of them. But no matter how big the event got, they still helped one another.
We have more chapter leaders than ever and more smaller cities participating.
We started with 85 folks attending in our first event and grew to over 545 different topic rooms.
We're just so proud of the collaboration and the healthy discussions that take place every single day among members.
In 2021 alone, Sage City experienced a 10% growth in posts and replies, as well as an overall increase in customer satisfaction.
Standing in service to promote that we are stronger together was a great joy and a deep commitment of mine.
I have established hundreds of developer student clubs at the universities and became the first person to organize an incubation program for the student communities that focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
We had a great purpose to start talking in Spanish about community management. We did come up the first major event for Spanish speakers with 16 professionals who share knowledge, experience, methodologies in Latin.
We really worked very hard to fill the year up with thoughtful, meaningful events.
Our team has worked to launch a number of new programs, including
hosting technical hackathons that enable global collaboration with our 24-hour challenges, and much, much more.
We continue to drive incredible results in customer satisfaction, loyalty, and reducing the time to value for our users.
Our community grew by 26%, and our community program grew in reach, value, and impact.
To build something from scratch, from 0 community members to 20,000 plus wasn't easy.
We've done a lot of great work in making sure that we're mandating diversity, knowing that there's still a long pathway to go.
We were able to engage with millions of members last year, ensuring a safe and supportive environment for patients and care partners whose lives are impacted by chronic health conditions, rare diseases, or cancer.
We are proud to have been able to provide employment and professional development opportunities for our campus reps in a strong virtual community.
One thing we're proud of was the launch of our campus rep program here in Canada. We launched programs in provinces from coast to coast, hiring dozens of campus representatives.
One thing that I'm absolutely proud of is the Ingressive for Good community, especially the I4G circles, the students who are, enthusiastic about learning and growing in the tech industry.
I work very closely with our community leaders, just finding different ways to connect with them, make their lives a little easier. Those were the real wins for me.
Those smaller but really meaningful moments, like when a member finally finds the courage to create their first post.
When I think of greatest accomplishments in 2021, I think it's safe to say we all have a shared one, and that is we made it through. We managed our communities and our teams were resilient. I helped to foster the feeling of community for our members when they needed it most.
Whether that was through their job transitions, offering them points of connection, or honestly, just giving them a few moments of surprise and delight.
I revisited one of my favorite quotes, which is, "Life's a shipwreck, but we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats," by Voltaire. So we kept programming going and connected virtually with classrooms, aquariums, content creators all over the world to educate.
One lesson we learned early in the year was the need to now, more than ever, focus on humanizing the digital experience for our community users.
We reconstructed our roadmap to undertake a complete community redesign.
Listen and truly hear what your community members have to say, what your peers are saying, and leave your emotion out of it.
Test everything, dig deeper, ask why, face ambiguity, fail fast, and move forward.
I learned that practicing empathy and compassion are critical.
If you are genuine in your approach, you can still build on a personal, humane connection.
That's what a community is about, seeing and hearing each other.
All organizations are seeing just how important and vital communities are to their business.
We're grateful for an amazing team, all the wonderful people in our community, and to be a part of the CMX community.
Thank you to the CMX community for the work that y'all do every day.
We love CMX.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you everybody for showing me the support and the love that you have.
I hold you all so close in my heart.
Thank you very much for your vote.
Best of luck to the rest of the finalists.
Big congratulations to all the nominees.
Shout out to all of you who kept people inspired.
Keep up the great work you're doing.
Cheers to all of you.
Welcome, everybody, to the 2022 Community Industry Awards. David, it's finally here.
We did it. We made it to another CMAD. I get to wear a tux one time a year. You get to wear your gown. I think it's probably been a while since we've both dressed up.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I wore lipstick. I think it might have been the Community Industry Awards last year. So I love an excuse to get dressed up. And so this is one of my favorite days of the year.
Yeah, at least from here up, I am very fancy. I'm definitely still wearing my slippers. I am wearing, jeans today. I put jeans on. It's a very fancy day. So very excited to be here. Very excited to be dressed up. And wow, we have a very exciting show coming up for everyone today.
We do. Like I said, these are the third annual Community Industry Awards, and we are celebrating the best in the community industry today. These awards shine a well-deserved spotlight on the people and the communities who are making waves in our industry, making a difference, and building incredible spaces for their members. And I would like each of you to take a moment using your favorite emoji. I want you to show me in the chat just how excited you are to be celebrating the Community Industry Awards with us today. Like I said, the Community Industry Awards celebrate the best in the industry. And let's show those slides, shall we?
There we go. All right. So Community Manager Advancement Day, Community Manager Appreciation Day. It's got quite a few names now that's evolved over the years. Really, this started many years ago as a way to celebrate community professionals. It's when we started CMX almost exactly 8 years ago now. CMAD existed before CMX, but it was really during a time where community managers weren't very appreciated. They weren't getting a lot of credit for the work they were doing. There wasn't a lot of awareness for this industry. And so this day was created to celebrate the work that people are doing in this space and show them that appreciation. I could definitely say it's been incredible. I don't know about all of you. My feeds are just blowing up with CMAD appreciation right now. My LinkedIn's all CMAD and no thought leadership posts, which is just a breath of fresh air. And it's just incredible to see how far the whole industry has come. And how many more people are working in the space, how much appreciation is going out for the hard work that everyone's doing. It's clear we're just in a much more mature and much larger industry than we were when this day first started. And just real quick, as a celebration, as a gift from CMX to everyone in the community, in honor of CMAD, we're going to be giving away our training, our CMX Academy training for 75% off. So you can use the coupon code CMAD 2022. And that gets you 75% off. It expires on January 25th at midnight. So you got 24 hours to claim that as one way to give back and give everyone some opportunity to continue their advancement.
And speaking of appreciation, let's take a moment to appreciate our amazing partners for this year's awards. For the first time, we opened up our categories to sponsorships and are proud to have partnered with the incredible companies that you see on your screen. Each of these companies is building tools, processes, platforms, and communities that are driving this industry forward, and we are honored to call them our partners. And of course, we are using our very own virtual events platform, Bevy, which we love. Make sure to take a moment to wander around the platform, click into the spaces, make sure you watch the lobby video on that agenda page, because Anne-Marie turns out an amazing lobby video.
You don't want to miss a lobby video.
You don't want to miss the lobby video. Another thing you don't want to miss is the Snapbar photo booth. At the top of your screen, Snapbar helps organizations and brands spark creative, user-generated content while engaging and interacting with their audience. And we love working with them. So make sure to snap your blue carpet pic and share on social media.
All right, so on to a very exciting part of the CIAs, the prizes. So CIAs just continues to grow every year. I'm going to be giving Beth a lot of shout outs over the course of the day because this is her brainchild. She designed this end to end. She really made these whole awards come together, and she's designed some incredible awards, prizes for our winners this year. And so there are 4 categories this year. We have the CMX Awards, which are awards for CMX community members. The Community Awards, which awards general communities. The Professional Awards, which are for individual community professionals, and then the Best of the Year Awards, which are our big overarching winners. Some of these are awarded to individuals, some are across a team, so we have lots and lots of awards to give out today. For all of our winners, including each member of the winning community teams, they will receive 1 free tickets to CMX Summit 2022, which might be in person, might be hybrid. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not making any promises because Anne-Marie will kill me if I make promises, but lots of cool things are possibly going to happen. 2, lifetime access to CMX Academy. Pretty dope. 3, a bundle of CMX swag. Everyone loves swag. 4, a $500 prize from one of the amazing category sponsors that Beth just went through. And 5, of course, the coveted Crystal Community Industry Awards trophy, as Beth is showing off a physical representation of how awesome you are.
I just polished it up this morning.
I could tell.
No
Very
fingerprints.
shiny.
Look at that. Whoa, catching the light beautifully. 2021 was definitely a challenging year for many of us. For those of you who just watched our finalist video, Lauren Crowett says the thing we all have in common for 2021 is that we made it through. And that really hit my heart when I heard that. So we are so ready to celebrate the industry and our community. And every single nomination for this year's awards was incredibly impressive. The challenges, the resilience, the success. You nominated over 400 people and companies for this year's award season, which definitely proved that you are also ready to celebrate. And also the emojis that you've been flooding the chat with prove that you're excited to celebrate today. So after all of our nominations were submitted and counted, we opened up the vote to the entire industry, and we received over 20,000 votes. And that's not
bonkers.
Duplicates. Yeah, that's like individual votes, 20,000 votes. So thank you to everybody who participated and made their voices heard. And of course, our panel of expert judges had a chance to read the nominations and cast their final votes. The nominations were all made anonymous, so there was no chance of bias. We took into consideration the public votes and, combined with the scores from our judges, determined the top 3 finalists and the winners of each category. It really is a scientific process, David. I'm not going to lie. There's a formula and everything. It's like pretty foolproof.
I've witnessed it. Yeah, it's complex deciding how to, in an unbiased way, select the best in the industry. Of course, everyone who is nominated just should be very, very proud of themselves. And a lot of decisions are so close and hard to make. But I think we really did try very hard to remove as much bias in the process and really give the best in the industry an opportunity to shine.
And I'll say, because the nominations are made anonymous, I also didn't know who the winners were going to be until the very end, when I kind of put everything through the formula and I saw the list. And I feel like the person who must write the envelopes for the Oscars. Like, there's someone who knows the winners, and I'm just bursting at the seams to share this today. And I feel like that's how the envelope writer at the Oscars feels. So
yeah, I wonder who that person is. Like what kind of contract do they have in place? Like, is this like do they get locked in a room for a week? Like, the person who types out the envelopes, and then they like mess it up once in some sort of award ceremony. So it's like very high pressure.
Oh gosh.
No pressure to you, Beth.
Yeah, no pressure here. I have triple checked the slides. So shall we begin? Let's get through.
Yeah, let's start announcing some winners. What do y'all say?
Woo! Okay. First off, let's go through the CMX Awards. These are ultimately chosen by the CMX team, and these individuals are making a huge difference in the CMX community. Each of them have such a big impact on the way CMXers experience our community, and this is only the smallest piece of recognition that we could possibly give. So, first up, the CMX Connect Chapter of the Year. This award is nominated and voted on by the CMX Connect hosts themselves. They nominate chapters based on chapter growth and success in the program, and also how the hosts engage with other hosts, helping each other with advice and learnings, attending host events, etc. So, the finalists are Alimi Ayateo from CMX Connect Lagos, Michelle Sims, Serena Snowd, and Lauren Gross for CMX Connect London, and Alex Perales Arango and Juan Diego Castano for CMX Connect Colombia. And the winner is Alex and Juan for CMX Connect Colombia.
Yay!
Hi everyone, my name is Juan Diego Castaño. Together with my partner, Alexander Parrales, we help lead the CNX Connect Colombia chapter. We are proud finalists for the CNX Connect Chapter of the Year. For a year, we had a great purpose, to start talking in Spanish about community management. We did come up the first major event for Spanish speakers with 16 professionals who share knowledge, experience, methodologies in Latin. Thank you very much for your vote. We speak Spanish. Hablamos español.
Alex and Juan have done such amazing work to bring CMX to LATAM. They've invited hundreds of new Spanish-speaking CMXers to join our community and have put on multiple events over 2021. Juan mentioned Come Up 21, which was our first ever half-day conference presented entirely in Spanish, except for the Q&A with me. I spoke English, but Alex did translate. CMX is just so honored to have passionate folks like Alex and Juan working to build the industry and spread knowledge. Congratulations again, you two. Next category.
Awesome. So next up, we have the Communiteer of the Year. That rhymes really well. I don't know if we actually meant to do that, but that worked out very well. Communiteer program launched in 2021, and wow, have we just been completely blown away with everything that all these communiteers have done. They're the super members of the CMX community. They use their enthusiasm and their experience to help other members of the community succeed. They're kind of like our moderators, facilitators, partiers. They just do so much in the CMX community to make it a special place. They welcome new members. These people really just raised their hand and went above and beyond for the CMX community. I wish we can give all of them an award. They all deserve it, but there's going to be one that went above and beyond this year and really just showed up in such a huge way for the CMX community. And so the winner of the Communiteer of the Year is Tirza Austin.
Tirja is somehow everywhere, answering questions, welcoming new members, sharing resources, tagging people. Tirja is responsible for 25% of the total community engagement. She also actually just joined the CMX Connect program at the end of 2021 and is working on a team to bring CMX Connect to Washington, D.C. So make sure to check it out if you're in the area. Congratulations, Tirja, for everything that you do. Up next, the next category is the CMXer of the Year Award. This is awarded to a member of the CMX community who stood out as helpful to other members, contributing to the discussion spaces, engaging with the community throughout the year, and just kind of going above and beyond for their fellow CMXers. I don't think this will come as a shock to anybody when I announce who the CMXer of the Year is. And the CMXer of the Year is Katie Ray.
What is one lesson I learned this year? It would really just be to listen. So not just asking questions to get to a specific point, but being willing to kind of follow the conversation wherever it goes, listen and truly hear what your community members have to say, what your peers are saying, what type of feedback and advice you're getting, and leave your emotion out of it, right? In community, it's really easy for us to put our heart and soul into something. And so when someone says it's not working or it's not good, we can get really defeated and disappointed. So leaving that emotion out and saying, okay, how do I make this better? Like, how do you want to be involved to help make this better and give opportunities for success because you're truly listening. But that's my little piece of advice. Congratulations to everyone who has done an amazing job in making the nominations as well. Have a good one.
I can't say enough about Katie Ray. I think if you looked up the phrase hit the ground running in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Katie. When she joined the CMX community, she truly did hit the ground running. She launched a virtual CMX Connect chapter, the Community Cafe, where she invites community professionals to bring a warm drink and bring their questions and discuss it in real time with their peers. She also joined the Communiteer team, our volunteer moderator program, and she's in the CMX Slack community like a dirty shirt. She asks questions, answers questions, connects people to resources, and it's been so fun to watch. Congratulations, Katie. Thank you for all that you do for CMX.
Huge congrats, Katie.
Now, we have a very special interlude between our categories. So those were all of the CMX categories, and I'm very excited for this interlude. I'm going to have the opportunity to interview a 2021 Community Industry Award winner, Andrea Tulshidas from OutSystems.
Hi!
Hi, Andrea. How are you?
I'm so excited. I feel like your energy, just enthusiasm is so contagious. So I'm very pumped. I'm very excited that this is like the second year that we're doing the awards. I mean, I can't even believe it, right?
I know. It's actually the third year, but the first year was so like scrappy that I feel like this is like it's definitely changed enough that it feels like it's brand new again.
I know. I was looking at my award. My award is here. I was looking at you with your award and I was like, oh my God, this is so nostalgic. I can't believe it's been already a year.
Oh, it looks so good in your bookshelf, by
I
the
know.
way.
Thank you.
Well, Andrea, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. And for those of you in the audience tuning in, we're actually going to be recording a Community Corner podcast episode. In case you don't know about the Community Corner, it's the podcast that I host. And I'm really excited to have this conversation with you, Andrea. So let's begin. Can you describe what OutSystems is and what exactly you do in your role?
Of course. So OutSystems is a tech company. We developed a low-code development platform that enables developers, whether professional, whether aspiring, from all realms of programming languages to build web and mobile applications, no matter the complexity, whether small, simple applications to use internally in companies, whether for very big enterprise companies with very complex solutions. So yeah, we basically have a community of developers that use that product, that use our program, and what I do as a community advocacy lead is I manage our super user programs. So a little bit like how CMX has their super user program. We have two different kinds of programs. So we have our champions, who are basically our community leaders. They're doing all the things online in the forums, contributing with documentation, with content, and at the same time organizing our user groups and doing all of the things offline. And we have our MVPs, our most valuable professionals, who are our tech experts, who are helping our product and our engineering teams advance with bringing feedback from the field and just making sure that they're evangelizing and really advocating for our software and bringing in more people to the community. So it's really cool.
So you, like many of us, wear many hats. And, Andrea, they all look so good on you, all of the hats that you wear at OutSystems.
Stop.
Well, I want to dig into your user group program because in 2020, the industry was talking about transitioning from in-person events to virtual. And then in 2021, the conversation became about moving back to in-person and the introduction of like hybrid events. How is OutSystems handling the move back to in-person and this kind of ever-changing landscape of events?
So it's been a whirlwind, I'm not going to lie, but I am going to pause and give a huge shout out to our current user group queen, which I've passed the baton, Katerina Prada, who I am throwing positive vibes out there that she's going to win next year's user group CIA, who knows? So everyone prepare yourselves. I'm already campaigning. But our user group program suffered a lot in terms of figuring out what would work for the community. And I've always been a huge fan of not imposing anything towards our ecosystem and letting our leaders really define what makes them feel comfortable and how autonomous they want to be, and really rely on us and let them make the decisions. And so we had a couple of groups that wanted to maintain physical. We had a couple of groups that wanted to do virtual. We just went with the flow and figured out what each local community was doing, how each local government was reacting. Because if you look into Australia, their political guidelines are going to be different from the United States, that are going to be different from what's happening in Portugal. So we tried to be as mindful as we could and just tell all our leaders, basically, whatever works for you works for us. So we had a bit of a mix. We had some chapters that went to the physical side. We had some user groups that decided to stay online. And we're even dipping our toe into the hybrid. A couple of weeks ago, we had a hybrid event in Brazil. And I think that it was really different because the audience is still not expecting it. They're still not very used to the fact that they can be with people and at the same time have a virtual speaker talking to them and feeling like they're in the same room. And I feel like there are a lot of dynamics that haven't been explored yet. So how is networking going to work? Are you going to do it virtual with physical at the same time? You can't share a drink with someone that's not in front of you, right? So I think that there are a lot of dynamics that make an event what it is, of meeting people, of sharing that connection, of creating a relationship that hasn't been perfected through the hybrid model. But I think that at the end of the day, if our community leaders feel empowered to define how they want to do it, then they're going to kill it.
Well, and I think you definitely kind of hit the nail on the head. There's so many ways that you could do hybrid. There are so many options and so many kind of combinations of, is the speaker virtual? Are the attendees virtual? Is the event itself virtual? Are there watch parties around the world? There's so many different combinations. I know Anne-Marie, who of course leads CMX Summit and our HQ events, is overwhelmed with all of the possibilities.
Definitely. And I think that there are always different little bits that you can try and figure out how to make it more personal. I know that for this incredible awards ceremony, I received a huge huge packet of swag and like just little goodies. I mean, I'm in Portugal, so I don't have the same chips that you have in the United States. And let me tell you, they were fantastic. But I wasn't expecting to receive like that care package. And I feel like those little things that make you feel connected in a virtual landscape make it all the more better, right? Make you feel at least part of something more personal. So I'm probably thinking that someone else from this event also received this package. So it's about making people feel like they're part of something together.
Definitely. And so, Andrea, you won the 2021 Community Industry Awards for Virtual Event Program. And this year you came back to join us as a judge for the User Group Program of the Year. So you're definitely involved, which we love. And we love having you a part of the CMX community.
I feel honored to be a part of this community. And it's been so exciting to see. I feel like I'm very fortunate and very lucky to be able to be a part of this journey with the CMX ecosystem, and feel like I have my own family of crazy community managers, and that I'm not the weirdo that talks about community management alone with people that don't understand me. So it's like I have my people, right? I found my place. And it's been so incredible to see how the community industry is growing and how these user programs are popping up and growing and doing all these amazing things. So it's just incredible to see.
I'm sure David is smiling backstage because I'm pretty sure that's exactly why they started CMX all those years ago. Okay, I've got a couple more questions. First of all, what is some advice that you would give someone launching a brand new like advocate or user group program today?
Awesome question. So if anyone can learn from my mistakes, which were a couple, listen to your community instead of trying to define something that you think is going to work for you or for your company, instead of testing it out. I think that's the first, not error, but maybe misconception, that you know exactly what's going to work because other companies do a certain way, or because it worked for someone that you know, or because you read something that was successful. And that doesn't necessarily apply to every community. A community strategy is not necessarily as generalistic that it can be applied and successful to all different kinds of communities. And so I'm always a fan of talking to the people. My team knows that when I started the super user programs, my calendar was filled with one-on-ones with community members, like crazy. Like everyone was taking vacation before Christmas, and I had probably 40 one-on-ones in a week because I just wanted to get to know people. I wanted to wish them happy holidays. But at the same time, you're never gonna know what works for your community if you don't talk to them. So that's my number one rule. Never assume that something's gonna work for your community without testing it. Just talk to them.
That's such good advice. Okay, there are no limits on the Community Corner podcast except for our time limit. So I've come to the last question, which is, who is a community builder that you would love to grab lunch with?
Oh my God. So I have a very funny story. I'm going to try to keep it short because, I talk a lot. But on our first community podcast that we did a while ago, you asked me this, and I said Holly Firestone because she's a goddamn rock star. And out of the blue, she literally tweets at me, I don't know how you say this, saying that she would love to grab pastéis nata, like a pastry from Portugal, with me. And I kid you not, I spat my soup and I let my phone fall to the ground because I was like, this is not happening. Oh my God, Holly Firestone is tweeting at me. So now I don't know what to do. I feel like that's already that's already unbeatable. But if non-fictional characters count, Ted Lasso, because I'm obsessed with him, and because I feel like he is without a doubt a master in community relationships and understanding people and thought leadership at the same time. And when everything is not going okay, he does it with a smile, and that's how I try to do community management. But if we're talking about real people,
I think Evan Hamilton is amazing. So he's like ex CMX. He's now at Reddit, and I've been lurking his Twitter for too many years, and I've been consuming massively his newsletters for so long that just even drinks with Evan would make my day. So if we can make that happen, that works.
Well, I think the track record of the podcast making real lunches happen is really good so far. So I'm hoping that you're lucky. Thank you so much for sharing, Andrea, and thank you for joining us today. Congratulations again last year, and thank you again for being a judge this year.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, David. Thank you, CMX, and good luck to all the finalists.
Awesome. David, that was fun, but I'm ready to get back into some more awards.
That was incredible. Andrea is awesome. Learned a ton from that one. I love that Holly Firestone made her spit out her soup, which that comment made me spit out my tea. That was incredible. Lots of good shout outs. And I loved Andrea's point about just like, you can't copy another community. You can get the strategies, you can get the playbooks, but you're just going to have to go into it and figure it out as you go and create and adapt. And I think we all had to do that in a lot of ways in the last year. And Andrea and her team did that in an incredible way. So it was very well deserving of her award last year, well deserving of being a judge this year. And yeah, I really enjoyed that chat.
All right, let's move on to our next category. The community awards are given to outstanding communities that are raising the bar for the industry. And we have this split up. First category is the Growth Marketing Community of the Year. This is awarded to a team building an acquisition community and using a community-driven marketing strategy. This category is sponsored by Graziti Interactive. It's a digital innovation leader with extensive experience in developing solutions that unlock data insights, increase operational efficiency, and drive customer success. Their experts enable companies of all sizes, including Fortune 500 enterprises, to implement, customize, configure, optimize, integrate, and manage solutions like CRM, marketing automations, online communities, and analytics. Thanks, Graziti. Our finalists in this category are Course Hero, UiPath, and Asana. And the winner is Course Hero.
Being a finalist for the 2022 Community Industry Award means recognition for the hard work that our team of community managers and campus reps around the US, Canada, and here in Australia have accomplished in the past year. 2021 was a hard year for college students as they faced so much uncertainty during the pandemic. We are proud to have been able to provide employment and professional development opportunities for our campus reps in a strong virtual community.
One thing we're proud of that we accomplished in 2021 was the launch of our campus rep program here in Canada. We launched programs in provinces from coast to coast, hiring dozens of campus representatives at schools such as Algoma University, the University of Saskatchewan, and Memorial University of Newfoundland.
Thank you from all of us here at Coursera.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Course Hero. That's awesome. It's such a cool team. I've been following their team for so many years, and they've been like believers in community and investing in it for so long in such an authentic way. If you ever meet anyone on their team, you're going to just like fall in love. They're all just the sweetest people. So very well deserved. Congrats to Course Hero.
Let's move on to the next category.
All right. Next up, we have the Customer Success Community of the Year. So this is awarded to a team that's building an exceptional customer success or support community. This category is sponsored by Insighted. Insighted is one of the only customer success community platforms for SaaS and subscription-based companies. They're used by hundreds of companies to drive product adoption, increase retention, and build a lasting customer advocacy through their combination of customer community, knowledge base, and product feedback features. Insighted facilitates customer engagement, discussion, and idea generation. All right, so let's see who the finalists are for our customer success and support communities. We have 3 finalists. They are Sage, we have Qualtrics, and we have Blue Prism. Let's find out who the winner is. Blue Prism.
Hi, I'm Melanie Giuliani.
I'm Lorena Secco.
I'm Kevin Barnes.
And we're the Blue Prism community team.
Our team has been hard at work over the last 12 months to take our community to the next level for our amazing community of users, and to be recognized by CMX, one of the leading influences in community management, alongside some of the best communities in the industry, is a great honor. Our team has worked to launch a number of new programs, including
hosting technical hackathons that enable global collaboration with our 24-hour challenges, shaping our product roadmap through customer insights with product research program, expanding gamification for power users with the community coins, forging strong local customer networks with local user groups, and much, much more.
In addition to these programs, we continue to drive incredible results in customer satisfaction, loyalty, and reducing the time to value for our users. The proof is in the pudding, a whopping 12-point increase in NPS, and the end is nowhere in sight.
Wow, 2021 was definitely a busy year for the Blue Prism team, and I love that. The proof is in the pudding. I love to hear when a team can prove their value, especially when there's pudding. All right, shall we go to our next category? We will. The next category is the User Group Program of the Year, and it is awarded to a team building a distributed events, user group, or chapter program. The sponsor of this category is Bevy, of course. Bevy's community event engine is your organization's platform to unify, centralize, and gain insights on all of your communities and events. Members of your communities can easily discover and engage from a central place. Your teams gain data-driven analytics on community health to successfully build and nurture programs at scale. And in case you didn't catch it earlier, you are experiencing the magic of Bevy's virtual conference and events platform right now. Let's meet our finalists. This year, our finalists for User Group Program of the Year are UiPath, AWS User Groups, and Workday. And the winner is AWS User Group Program.
Being a finalist is a testament to the hard work and continued dedication of our AWS user group leaders around the world, whose enthusiasm for knowledge sharing has made a real impact within the community. We are grateful for the opportunity to celebrate our AWS community and to recognize our user group leaders as being the best in the industry. It is an honor to work with the AWS community, and we are proud to support members around the globe with educational opportunities that support their careers.
Awesome. Congratulations to the AWS team. We all know, anyone who's running events or user groups over the last year, how hard it was. So for them to rise up and just do such an exceptional job of running a program like that, well deserved. Congrats to the whole team over there. And for our next category, pudding. Sorry, just kidding. Next category is the best new community. So this is a brand new category for the 2022 CIAs. It's the best new community, which is focused on rewarding a community that has shown significant growth and success since launching in the last year, right? So a lot of the awards that we give out are for long-standing communities, been at it for a long time, but this is really for the ones who entered the industry with a bang and started doing really incredible work from day one. The sponsor for this category is Common Room. Common Room is a community intelligence platform that helps you build better products, deepen relationships, and grow faster. They bring together community engagement, product usage, and customer data into a single place so you can discover what's most important, nurture key personas, measure the impact of your community programs, and collaborate across the organization. Let's see who our finalists are for the best new community. All right, our three finalists are Lenovo Legion, the gaming community, Zoom, and Freshworks. And the winner of the best new community for the CIA 2022 award is Legion. Congratulations.
Everyone in the team has been working really hard this year, doing amazing, growing the community, and it's just super, super lovely to see this kind of recognition. I think it makes it even more exciting now in the second year to start working on even bigger things with the community. There are so many great learnings, first time gaming events, cool competitions, big numbers, but we've actually recently been thinking that it's also important to keep celebrating those smaller but really meaningful moments, like when a member finally finds the courage to create their first post. It's those precious few people who really become involved that ultimately make the community feel like home. So in the middle of all the big things, remembering to celebrate the smaller wins is one of my favorite learnings.
I am so happy we added this category this year. Launching a new community is no joke, and I'm thrilled that we're recognizing the incredible work these teams have put into successful launches. Whew. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick couple-minute break, so make sure you take this opportunity to check out the Snapbar photo booth at the top of your screen. Take a photo and tag us on social media so we can see you on the CMX blue carpet. We'll see you back here in a few minutes.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your break, albeit short, but hopefully it was sweet and you went to the Snapbar photo booth and took your photo because it's fabulous. If you haven't seen all the photos on social media already, it looks literally like you're at an award show. Like you wouldn't even know that you weren't there physically. But we're going to dive into another unique session that we have here in between our categories. And I'm going to be giving you a quick sneak peek preview of some of the data that's coming out of the 2022 Community Industry Report. Cue slides. All right. So for those of you who don't know, we do this research every year. It's our big community industry research that tries to gather data on lots and lots of different things. This one's bigger than ever. We're collecting data on community team sizes, platforms that people use, salary and compensation, how businesses are measuring the value of community, a whole range of different topics. And we give away all of this data for free. You will be able to download the report for free in March. And we have some fun things as well where we're actually going to just pretty much open source the data for the entire industry to be able to just use and create whatever content or analyses you want. So I'm going to give you a quick preview. And then at the end, I'm going to ask everybody here, if you haven't already, to please complete the survey, because the more responses we get, the better the data becomes and the better the insights become. All right, so let's go through some of the key insights that we're seeing so far from the data. One quick caveat. It's early. This is based on about 350 responses. And so, it can change. It will continue to evolve. And it's still early data that needs to be cleaned up. But this will give you some of the trends that we're starting to see already. First off, 90% of community teams have at least one full-time community manager, which so far is up from 88% last year. This is a really good sign. We really want to see more and more companies have at least one full-time community manager and move past those days where we have a community program, but nobody full-time to own it. Second, 63% of communities launched before the company had a dedicated community manager. This one's pretty interesting, right? There's a lot of communities and companies out there that are launching before they had a dedicated community manager. Good or bad? I don't know. Let us know in the chat if you think that's a good thing or bad thing. Last, 20% of companies have a dedicated community department, up from 15% last year. So far, this data point is one of the ones that excited me the most. I believe that community is best served to companies in its own department, and to see it go from 15 to 20% of companies that have a dedicated community department, that's huge. All right, let's go some more data. 45% of companies are running community-led event programs, where these are the programs where members are self-organizing events or chapters. So about half of companies are running these kinds of community-led event programs. Of the 55% who are not running them, half of those are planning to start in 2022. So in the world of COVID, even though we're all virtual, whether it comes back in person or hybrid, more and more companies are planning to launch these kinds of community-led event programs where they empower their communities to self-organize, and half already are. Next slide. We wanted to get some insight into how events would change in the next year. And so we asked, after COVID, what are you going to do? 27% of companies plan to host fewer virtual events after COVID finishes, right? So reduce the amount of virtual events, probably go back to in-person. 13% plan on hosting more virtual events, and 60% plan on hosting the same number of virtual events after COVID. So despite most of us not really doing a lot with virtual events before COVID, it's pretty clear that virtual is here to stay. And 73% are doing the same or more after COVID becomes more manageable. Next slide. Looking at platforms that community teams are using, Zoom is still the dominant platform for virtual event tools. So 72% of companies are hosting their virtual events on Zoom. When we look at hybrid events, which would be events that are hosted both online and offline simultaneously, or programs where you're doing both, 81% of companies plan to host hybrid events. So it seems like this is the direction things are going to go. We're going to try to have this balance of in-person and virtual events. Next slide. We always ask every year, what are the top frustrations for community managers? The top 3 have been consistent. It's the same one that it was for the last 2 research projects. They kind of switch up in order, but these are always the top 3. Number 1, difficult to consistently engage members. That's always the hardest part of communities, engaging our community members. 38% said it's hard to quantify the business value of community. We're continuing to struggle to measure that business value. And 34% say that their efforts are largely manual and not automated. So that tedious day-to-day work is still frustrating a lot of community teams. We asked about the platforms that community teams are using, and this one's pretty interesting. You can see here over 50% are using 3 of the out-of-the-box free solutions that are out there. So Slack, 27% of companies are using Slack as their community platform. It's the most popular one, despite not even being a platform built for external communities. So it's pretty interesting to see Slack continue to be a leader there. Facebook groups, 18%, also interesting because it's not really a business tool yet, but it's free, it's easy, our community members are there. Discord is rising really quickly. We've seen in Web3, Discord is pretty much the only tool that everyone uses, and that I think you could attribute a lot of the growth there. And the rest of the platforms account for 42%, aside from a couple you see here like LinkedIn most of the other one, and Twitter. Pretty much all the other ones are the white labeled, more enterprise level community solutions. We're going to break down this data into much more detail in the report when it comes out, but this gives you an overview of the platforms that are being used. When we look back at that struggle of measuring community value, this is a really important metric, and it stayed right about the same from last year. Last year, we saw about 33% of companies are able to connect their community data to their CRM or their customer data, and it stayed right about there so far at 34%. We'll see if that data changes as the full report comes out. When we dive into some of the data around the business value of community, and we asked a lot more questions about this year. We're also asked about benchmarks and engagement benchmarks and business value benchmarks. So you're going to get a lot of good data this year. 63% of companies plan to increase their budget and headcount in 2022. Pretty exciting to see that kind of investment in community next year. 19% of companies are focused on acquisition as their primary business goal, which is up from 13% last year. So we're seeing a growth of businesses building community to grow versus other goals like support or success or engagement. 11% of community pros are confidently able to measure the value of their community, which is about even with last year, 12%. So still huge struggle. We can't confidently measure the business value of community. Huge challenge. Of those who can measure the value, 11% said that their community has driven 5 million or more in value. So the companies that are able to measure the business value of their community, they're seeing some huge numbers and returns on that community. Of course, that might make sense since the more mature companies are also the ones who are in a better position to measure community. More data on this coming out soon. We also dove into Web3 and community fundraising and things like that this year. So we're curious how many companies are actually investing in Web3, how many Web2 companies are investing in it. So 5% of companies who took the survey said that they raised money directly from their community, and another 5% are actively considering it. So these are companies that led community rounds. They opened up their fundraising to their community to invest and take ownership in the company. When we look into Web3 and crypto, where the community is actually the ones building the company and owning it, 26% of companies that took the survey are either investing in Web3 or crypto actively, or they're considering it in the next year. All right, so Web3 is definitely starting to grow as something that more companies are being aware of in their community strategies. We ask a lot of demographic questions towards the end, and we really try to understand what does diversity look like in the community industry. This is another area where we're going to have a lot of more deep in data and insights and crosstabs on what diversity looks like in the community industry. To give you some high-level data points real quick, 64% of the community industry is female, 31% is male. That's stayed pretty consistent with previous years. 70% are white. So excited to get more data on that front out to you all. There's so much more. I mean, if you've taken the survey, you know it's a substantial survey. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but we really want to give you a thorough look at the community industry and get really deep insights that will help the whole industry grow and give you the data that you need to invest in your community successfully. So we put a ton of work, a ton of money, a ton of effort into putting the survey together. We need your help. We're about halfway to our goal for responses. We're about 500 completes. We're trying to get to 1,000. So the survey closes in just less than 2 weeks on February 3rd. You can find the link at the top of the event if you just click on survey. We'll post it here in the chat as well. You're probably going to get some more emails. If you already took it, I apologize. But we're going to be really promoting the survey hard to make sure that we're getting you the best possible data and insight possible. Thank you to everyone who already took the survey. We can't wait to get the rest of this research out to you.
Thanks so much for sharing, David. I feel like if you have taken the survey, just pop the link on Twitter and share it with your network. The more people that take this, the better. There are also questions in there about salary as well as demographics, like David said. I know that salary often is a question among community professionals, so we very much appreciate everyone sharing. Shall we move on to our next categories?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, our next kind of group of categories is the Community Professional Awards. So these are given to outstanding individuals working in the community. And we'll begin with the Community Professional of the Year of a nonprofit organization. This category is sponsored by Mobilize. Mobilize gives companies a new place to engage prospects, partners, and customers by providing a private place to build a professional network. This untapped channel appeals to their need for development, learning opportunities, networking, and collaboration. Mobilize uses member motivations, focused workflows, and intelligent data to achieve 7 times the engagement levels, which in turn drives sales, lifetime value, innovation, and becomes a competitive moat for the company. Thanks, Mobilize. All right, our finalists in this category are Warren Carlisle IV, who founded Octo Nation, the world's largest octopus fan club; Hanifa Abdurrahman Lekki, program coordinator and community manager at Ingressive for Good; and Vanessa Cast, the founder of Madres Emprendedoras en Español. And the winner is Hanifa Abdurrahman Lekki.
One thing that I'm absolutely proud of is the Ingressive for Good community, especially the I4G circles, the students who are, enthusiastic about learning and growing in the tech industry. The ambassadors who have volunteered their time and effort and took the initiative to make the best use of this unique opportunity of leading the best tech communities in Africa.
I will say, when I was reading Hanifa's nominations initially,
I think her entire community, like maybe every single member nominated her. She's very well loved by her community, and this award is very well deserved. Congratulations, Hanifa.
Congrats, Hanifa. All right, on to our next category for Community Professional of the Year for the Education Community category. This category is sponsored by Influitive. Influitive is an amazing community platform that drives ambassador programs where you can reward your ambassadors with different points and gifts and systems in exchange for taking actions in your community, advocating, creating content. Their easy-to-use SaaS platform combines industry-leading customer advocacy tools. They have expert services, training, intelligent automation, gamification, and personalization features that drive extreme engagement and customer growth at scale. Thanks to Influitive for sponsoring the category. Let's take a look at our finalists. And our finalists are Medina McKinney at Black Parents Association, Linda Porter at Certified Community Manager Study Group, and Shadab Ashraf at Udacity. And our winner of the education category is Shadab Ashraf, Developer Relations. Congrats.
One lesson I can share with all of you budding community professionals out there is to always test everything, dig deeper, ask why, face ambiguity, fail fast, and move forward.
That is such good advice, and it's something I think all of us need to hear, from budding community professionals all the way to folks who've been doing this for a long time. It's a great reminder, even for those more senior community professionals too. Thanks, Shadab. Let's go on to our next category. Our next category is awarded to a community professional building a community for a gaming organization. The sponsor of this category is Bramble. Bramble gives you everything you need to create and customize your own virtual space for every kind of social gathering online. Bramble's fluid video technology allows people to socialize more like they would in real life. You can walk between conversations, run into friends and colleagues, explore virtual worlds, and arrange group gatherings that feel more natural for work, play, or events. And our finalists in this category are Maddie Fairchild at Manticore Games, Corey Andres, Take-Two Interactive, and Beau DeVries at Gorilla. And our winner is Maddie Fairchild, Manticore Games.
I was really excited to be nominated, excited to be a finalist. Thank you to the CMX community for the work that y'all do every day in making our industry better, making our industry at all. And what I'm most proud of, a lot happened this year, a lot going on, but our creator community stepped up to every challenge that we put in front of them, got bigger every time. They built thousands of games for our launch on the Epic Games Store. They made all of the visuals for a deadmau5 music video. They made dozens of new sports for an international sporting competition. But no matter how big the event got, no matter what the prizes were, they still helped one another. They still created the space to bring new creators into the community and to make new things together. So thank you all for everything that you've built. I'm excited for 2022.
All right, congrats, Maddie. Very, very well deserved. Someone who's been in the community industry for a very long time, in the CMX community for a long time. So warms my heart to see you win that award. Congrats to you and your entire team. All right, on to our next category for Community Professional of the Year in Developer Relations. Of course, this one's got to be sponsored by Discourse, one of the best developer relations community platforms out there. Discourse is the most powerful, customizable community platform, fully designed from the ground up to facilitate civilized discussion. Civilized. With our modern forum, you'll have all the tools you need to grow a healthy, vibrant, and fun place for your customers, superfans, and teammates. Start your group and join thousands of others, making the internet a better place with Discourse. Let's take a look at our finalists for the Developer Relations category. All right. First, we have Merv Isler from Google. Next, we have Chirish Santoshi from Sewa Labs. Finally, we have Andrea Tomescu from UiPath. And the winner is Chirish Santoshi from Sewa Labs.
It feels amazing to reach here and for CMX to recognize and validate all the work that we've done. Thanks everybody who nominated me and showed their support by voting for me as well. One of the things that I'm really proud of is Savo is just like a year-old company, and to build something from scratch, from 0 community members to 20,000 plus wasn't easy. And I feel great that that my team and I have done that for Indian ecosystem, and we are only progressing forward. So thank you everybody for nominating me, showing me the support and the love that you have.
Congratulations, Cherish. I don't manage a developer relations community, but from all of those DevRel folks out there who talk about it, it definitely comes with its fair share of challenges that are different than any other community. So it's good work, challenging, rewarding, and congratulations to all of our finalists and, of course, Cherish for winning. All right, next category. This is awarded to a community professional building a community in the B2B space. Sponsored by KissFlow. Welcome to the era of the human-centric approach to business. KissFlow community platforms help you build and manage an engaging community. Classify conversations, manage members and member groups, get event RSVPs, allow members to chat, manage back office, and get insights from community specialists. Everything from this fully managed community platform. Our finalists are Erica Moss at Atlassian, Vibor Shrivastava, UiPath, and Lauren Krawitz, Qualtrics. And our winner is Lauren Krawitz. Cool.
As many of you know, although your LinkedIn may say community manager, that is just one of the many hats you wear daily. Personally, I've seen myself as a technical project manager, designer, marketing and analytics guru, and the list truly goes on. All of these hats are imperative to excel in the community industry. When I think of greatest accomplishments in 2021, I think it's safe to say we all have a shared one, and that is we made it through. We managed our communities and our teams were resilient. Yes, I led the launch of our complete community redesign and new industry groups, but more importantly, I helped to foster the feeling of community for our members when they needed it most. Regardless of the award outcome, I am honored to have made it this far, and I'm grateful for the amazing team at Qualtrics and all of the wonderful people in our community.
Well, Lauren, thrilled to say the outcome was very positive for you because you won. And I love the shout out about getting through 2021. Definitely felt like a heavy year for a lot of people, and I hope everyone takes a moment today to reflect on everything they accomplished in the last year. Not just our award winners, but everyone here at the events, everyone in the community industry. All right, on to our next category, a really exciting one, the Executive Leader of the Year for a community team. So these are the folks who are leading teams, leading as executives. They're some of the most senior people in our industry. And this category is going to be sponsored by HireLogic. HireLogic's the industry-leading human-focused engagement platform that delivers powerful online communities and communication tools to engage members and customers at every stage of their journey. HireLogic provides a robust engagement platform and strategic services with over a decade of experience in building personalized and scalable community engagement programs. They serve more than 3,000 customers, representing over 350,000 online communities in more than 42 countries worldwide. Thank you, HireLogic, for sponsoring this category. Let's check out our finalists. First up, we have Amrita Baumik, the Chief Community Officer at Health Union. Next, we have Karina Gionia at UiPath. And then we have JV Nava, who is the Vice President of Community at Peloton Interactive. And the winner of the Executive of the Year is JV Nava.
It feels rewarding to represent and lead the Peloton community team at the 2022 Community Industry Awards. As we continue to navigate the challenges that the pandemic has brought to the world, especially in the workplace, I learned that practicing empathy and compassion are critical in connecting and leading a team and our member community.
Thank you, JV. I love those learnings from 2021. And I feel like we can all focus a little bit more on empathy as we take on another year of a pandemic. Thank you, JV, and congratulations again. Okay, folks, we have another interlude, which I know you love. This one is extra special. Who here has heard of Mad Libs? David, do you know what Mad Libs are?
It's been a minute, but I do remember what Mad Libs are.
Okay, I can't take credit for this because this was actually my boyfriend Michael's idea. He was like, you should write a Mad Lib for CMAD, like a CMAD Lib. So I did. And we're going to do it right now.
All right.
We're going to do it right now.
I have no idea how this is going to go. This is a big community experiment. You're all guinea pigs.
Yeah, this is definitely a virtual event experiment. It's going to be fun. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to say what kind of word we need. I've got the chat pulled up over here, and I'm going to implement or put in the words that you give us into a story about community management, and then I'm going to read the funny story at the end with all of your words. So this is going to be a good time. As a reminder, a noun is a person, place, or thing. An adjective is a describing word like sticky or fun. A verb is an action word like run or running. And I think those are the only words we use today. Okay. Let's start. We need a noun.
All right.
First
so
word.
Start putting in your nouns.
Noun, person, place, or thing. David, what are some ideas for nouns?
Balloon.
That's a good one. All right.
Chinchilla.
All right. I'm not going to lie. There's a tiny bit of a delay from like us talking to the chat. So I'm just waiting. You know what? Let's use balloon as the first one. And then we can take some nouns from other folks.
We need lots of nouns, all right? That's not the only noun.
We've got more nouns here.
All right, we're starting to get some good ones in here. We got community. We got community. Okay, we're really I like it. Donkey, dog, cat. All right, a lot of animals. Let's move away from animals. All right, bridge.
This is good.
Automobile, cake, bike, ice cream sandwich.
Oh, that's such a good one. Okay, we also need some adjectives. So when you're all ready, give me some good describing words.
Yeah, I would also say if you could vote up, just give hearts and likes to ones that you really like. That'll make it jump out to us. Let us know that these are the words that you really want to see in this Mad Lib.
I love that idea. All right, I'm writing these down live as we go. We also need plural nouns, so I'm probably gonna just like choose a noun here and add an S onto the end of it.
Unless it's octopus, in which case you would be removing an S and a U and adding an I.
True. All right, we're gonna use some of these. These are
monumental, magnificent, colossal. Laptop.
Colossal.
Stinky is getting a lot of votes. That was
Okay,
my
we gotta
nickname growing up, Stinky Spinky.
Okay, we're gonna do stinky. Uh-oh, we've got a moist.
Oh God,
I know that
there's
one.
always gonna be a moist.
Always gonna be
Loquacious. Moist is getting some votes. This is a family-friendly Mad Libs. All right, everyone. Forgot to mention that. Not that moist is not allowed. It's a family-friendly word in most contexts.
All right. I need some more nouns here, folks.
Scintillating. We got octopi showed up again. Dazed.
The
itchy.
other word I need is a verb ending in ing.
Oh.
I know.
Like swimming.
Swimming.
It's
yeah.
octopuses, David. Warren, I will fight you.
I feel like Warren would know because he's the founder of the world's largest octopus fan club.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm not going to fight you. You win.
All right. Ooh, Juan suggests singing. I do love that.
I forgot that Warren ran that community. That's embarrassing. I chose the wrong person to fight on that word. All right. Paperwork, cushion, cupcake.
Cupcake. Okay,
Singing,
I think I like
running,
cupcakes.
Shining. Extemporizing. Rob, you are going to make me pull up my dictionary. Don't know what that means.
Okay, we
Scuba
got to
diving.
get some.
Shriving. Rob is just really dropping the SAT words here. Shriving, shriving.
Okay.
Horse riding.
I mean, we got to get some upvotes here. David, which is your favorite verb ending in ing? Oh, maybe rapping.
Rapping's a good one. Yeah, let's go rapping.
Dreaming.
Extrapolating would be my second one. Dreaming's nice. It sounds
okay.
sweet.
Let's see where we're at here, folks. I need. I also need a verb that doesn't end in ing. So maybe
we need another verb.
Spelunk, without
spelunk.
the
yeah, spelunk.
Exfoliate.
That was my other nickname growing up. Spelunking Spinks.
Oh wow, you sure had a lot of nicknames.
Anything that starts with SP is fair game.
Oh man.
I don't think anyone called me Spelunking Spinks. I wish they did. That would have been better than Stinky Spinky. Imbibing, purifying. People are just trying to one up their SAT words here. Defenestrating, Aaron.
Okay, people, we need one more word, and that is a plural animal, which
plural animal
I think might have to be octopuses.
Octopuses? Is it octopuses or octopi? I'm genuinely not sure now. But I want to see more animals here. So let's see. If we don't find a better one than octopuses, then we'll stick with it. A nickname sharing events. Yeah, that's probably going to be traumatizing for all of us, Anne-Marie. I've come to terms with my Stinky Spinky nicknames, but you know. Maybe there's some I'm less comfortable with. Fish, koalas, praying manti, or is it mantises?
Okay.
Platypuses, platypus.
Oh wow, these are great.
Cubs,
Kangaroos.
aardvarks, capybaras. Good one.
I mean, platypus has a couple of likes already.
It does, and the multiple suggestions.
Yeah, so
I think we have to make it platypuses, even if that's not how you say it.
I don't know how to spell it.
Is it wait? Do you need a plural or singular?
It is plural.
Oh.
Okay, let me just double check. I got all of
fishes.
the things. Oh,
this is great. I'm having a ton of fun. I don't know.
I need one more noun. I missed
one more noun. One more noun.
One more noun.
Make it a good one, y'all.
So platypuses is a word. Platypuses. So my computer is not saying that I spelled it wrong. So
wow. Okay.
All right. One more noun. Oh,
do we have a praying mantis community manager we can ask? I guarantee you there's a praying mantis community out there. Like every word y'all have put probably has a community around it somewhere. Scranton. Yeah. That's a good noun. Scranton. Big Ben. Feta cheese. Clock tower.
Feta cheese. Okay, that one made me laugh out loud. Sorry.
Right, so feta cheese is getting it. Good job.
Cheese. Okay, now, everybody.
David Spinks.
All right, we're ready.
Yeah. All right.
We've chosen all of our words. This is your CMAD Mad Lib, brought to you by the CMX community, read to you by Beth McIntyre.
I'm so excited.
Community is the balloon of business. We all know that. And more companies. So we all know that. And more companies are focusing on building community to drive business community. TEA.
Oh.
As community professionals, we don't all love tracking cakes because sometimes it can be astronomical to determine which metrics are the right ones to measure. That one's almost too real. So, when it comes to proving the return on automobile for your community, follow these 3 colossal steps. Start with the business level ice cream. What is stinky to your executive team? Then think about the community level donkey. What cupcakes will you put in place in order to prove the above business value? It's too good. Lastly, come up with your tactical level strategy. What will you spelunk day to day in order to make sure the above programs are moist?
Oh, no.
Okay, wait, it's not done.
We're going to have to turn moist into an acronym for community measurement.
Okay, this is the last of it. This is the end. Community professionals often wear multiple bikes. We focus on both feta cheese building and extrapolating business impact. It can feel itchy sometimes, but with support from CMX and our community of community-loving platypuses, you are sure to be set up for success. The end.
I'm dying. Why is Mad Lib's just like timeless, I guess.
Timeless.
That is, well, I would call that experiment a huge success. I mean, if everyone isn't doing a Mad Lib at their next virtual event, I don't know if you're even a community manager. Oh no, Elizabeth said itchy until it's moist.
Oh God.
Spelunk sounds like business speak there. It does. That sounds like jargon.
Samir. Needs moisturizer. Well, folks, the fun doesn't end there because we're actually going to share the CMAD Mad Lib with all of you. So if you want to bring it to your community teams or your communities or however you want to share it, Anne-Marie is going to drop the link in the chat for the PDF that you can download. The instructions are there and you can make your own CMAD Mad Lib. If it's extra funny, like especially funny, please share on social media and tag at CMX and also like me and David because we want to see them. All
very
the funny
excited
things
to
you
see
come
where
up
this
with.
goes. Drew commented and said, "What could have gone wrong?" You know what, Drew? I'm not sure we thought about that.
You know, we figured this was a pretty good safe for work group.
Yes.
So the worst we did was moist. So I think we're safe. Anyway,
that does make me feel weird.
Thank you everybody for your beautiful words in the chat. We are going to take a quick break, I think. Make sure you go take your Snap Our Photo Booth picture. We want to see you on the blue carpet, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
And fill out your survey.
I'm so excited. I'm reading the chat. I feel like that's a Mad Lib. That's a memory that's going to live in the CMX community for a long time. Thanks, everybody, for your funny words. I can't wait to see the Mad Libs that you all come up with. I'm thrilled to introduce our next speaker, interlude speaker. This person was a 2021 Community Industry Awards winner for our independent community category and came back to us this year as a judge on our judging panel, helping us with the User Group Program of the Year category. Please join me in welcoming Finn Pomofu, who I think I say your last name wrong every time I say it.
I think I'll be super impressed anyone managed to get it right first time round. But Beth, thank you so much for having me.
Well, Finn, I would love to just dive right in. Can you describe what Startup Grind is and what you do in your role?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you are in the world. And many congratulations to all the nominations for this year's CMX Community Industry Awards. So Startup Grind is the world's largest startup community. We have over 600 chapters in 125 countries worldwide. And I have the great pleasure of leading our community and partner success teams. So we have these 600 chapters globally worldwide, which are run by actually well over 1,000 volunteers, chapter directors and co-directors. So I oversee a team of 5 community managers that helps manage our community.
That's a lot of people. I don't know if I realized that you have over 1,000 leaders. I knew the 600 chapters. That's like your claim to fame number. But like didn't know it was over 1,000 volunteers.
Yeah. I mean, if you think typically every chapter has a co-director, and then some chapters have teams, and we have our Beijing chapter has like 50 people on their team. So when you sort of tally all those numbers up, it's a lot of people to help and support and oversee.
That's amazing. Well, and Startup Grind is going on 12 years, I think, this year. I would love to hear, obviously not like a full decade's worth, but how has the program changed? I mean, like you launched 12 years ago all the way to now, you've gone through so much.
Oh, yeah. And I joined Startup Grind when we were 4 years old. So I've been on Startup Grind 8 years. So I joined in 2014. I was chapter number 50, magic number 50, actually. I always remember that because baby shows us. And I joined as a volunteer chapter director leading the Edinburgh chapter. And it was fascinating that I think at our core, we have 100% remained the same, which is educating, inspiring, and connecting the world's entrepreneurs. We've definitely, I think, added, as any organization would do, some programs and opportunities that can literally aid us in that mission of helping and supporting startups to build, grow, and scale their startups. So we have things like the startup program, which is led by my colleague, Alex Gordon First, who have done a really incredible job in really supporting, startup companies across the different life scales that they ultimately have. And then, we're being the beauty with being 12 years old, and Derek always shares this, who's the founder and CEO of Startup Grind, that the beauty of being in the startup world is you kind of have your finger on the pulse, as it were. So you're able to start kind of seeing the different trends as they develop. And of course, over the last 12 years, and in the last few years in particular, you started seeing a lot of conversations around Web3. And what that will mean for really the future of everything, right? And if you think of, I always say that if Web 1 was really focused on the founders and sort of building the different products, and Web 2 was focused on, the VCs and the influencers and on social, Web 3 is really going to focus on the users and how to kind of really support them. And at the foundation of all of that, of course, is community. So we are making both a strategic and a conscious decision to focus and discuss all things Web3 as we move on to what will hopefully be the next 12 years of Startup Grind.
I am happy that you shared that because I think it's really helpful for those community professionals who are in the early days of their program or are still just dreaming about what it will look like when they launch. It's helpful to hear just how much changes and how you really have to adapt and ebb and flow with changes of your community members. Because it can be really overwhelming to hear that you have over 1,000 volunteers and think, how will I ever get to that point?
It is. I think, the one thing I've come to realize, right, is when you look at businesses as a whole, right? So let's just park community as a side, but look at businesses. And at a fundamental level, of course, a business is supposed to build a product or a service that they sell to customers and clients. And in order to manage those customers or clients, typically most businesses have CRMs, right? A customer relationship management system or a client relationship management system. But I've come to realize that almost like the C in CRM actually really stands for community, right? So community relationship management. And when you look at the roles of community managers, actually the key thing that they had to do, if you had to insert it between community and management or manager, and you added relationship to it and underline that piece, it would ultimately really show what community managers need to do. That you ultimately kind of need, build relationships, person by person, city by city, product by product, node by node, wherever you are in the world to get to that stage. And for some, I don't think, whilst yes, having 1,000 community ambassadors or volunteers or champions or whatever you call kind of like your community advocates is great. It's not necessarily required for every single community and organization that's out there. For some, you maybe only really need a community of 50 really true champions that can kind of push your product, service, your community organization ahead. And that's what's essentially important. So I would say don't necessarily kind of focus on the numbers, but focus on the relationships that you can build as you go about doing community management.
Well, and I mean, when you do get to numbers, even small numbers, when we're talking about a global community or an international community, I mean, Startup Grind has over 600 chapters around the world. How do you share Startup Grind with the world while keeping the brand and message consistent?
Great question. I would almost say that's probably one of the biggest challenges you face, simply because you have to factor in like sort of cultures and language and like all these other considerations that you have to do. But this is where I think David actually talks about this, but where you talk about community operations, right? And that's the other piece I think that sometimes people forget about, that you do literally have to have community operations and really sound systems and processes that will allow you to kind of do community management at scale. I was very fortunate when I took over leading the community team, my sort of predecessor, and who many of you probably know and love, and I love him dearly, G. DeSmith, who now obviously works for Bevy. G is such a systems guy, right? So he really built these systems and processes that allowed us to ultimately kind of manage community at scale. And I'd almost say kind of like that's one of the fundamental things to ensure that you can keep a consistent brand experience by doing even simple things like standardizing your art assets, making sure that they're easily accessible. Now I know some of the tools we need do localization, essentially it's called, so translating some of the language aspects at a local level. So little things like that can kind of standardize the operation across the board. Definitely helps when you're trying to do things at scale. I think it would be very difficult for us to say, oh yeah, we're pulling events from pulling data and stats from 200 plus events using a Google spreadsheet and all of these details. That would be super cumbersome for any community manager to do. And then as a business leader, you almost lose the metrics. But for us, then having a standardized way to do it, like the chapter dashboards that every chapter essentially uses to publish their events, creates a consistent experience the world over. I've always kind of say that attending a Startup Grind event should feel like going to a McDonald's. I'm not advocating for McDonald's, just saying it out there, but you definitely want to kind of, a Big Mac should be a Big Mac. Yes, it might be called a Le Mac or wherever you go to, but when you go to a Startup Grind event, it should be welcoming, it should be comforting. The host, the chapter director should kind of all really treat you well, so you can have like a consistent experience. Any Startup Grind event you attend, and that applies to our brand as well.
I actually really appreciate that you brought up McDonald's, because when you talk about that like globalization, we often talk about glocalization, where you have this brand and this, the feeling that your brand brings, that, the values that Startup Grind has that are across the board. but you have that local flair. So, you know, in New Zealand, you can get a sheep or lamb burger, and in India, you can get curry at McDonald's. So like you still get a Big Mac, but like you can also get these little local flares, which I feel like is exactly that startup grind kind of localization you're talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely.
Okay, well, we've got time for one more question. And this is one that I ask everybody. Who is a community builder you would love to grab lunch with?
Ooh, I mean, you know, there are a lot of amazing community builders out there, including yourself, David, Derek, some incredible people out there. And I'll definitely love to have lunch with you all. But, you know, I think without a shadow of a doubt, one person that I would absolutely love to grab lunch with is Barack Obama. Now, whilst some people will say, hang on, Finn, that's a little bit unfair. He's a president, you know. But actually, if you look back at the history of Barack Obama, he was a massive community builder, and he really focused on kind of, you know, going door to door and building like advocacy amongst individuals and ultimately building those relationships. So going back to that sort of community relationship management, Barack Obama did that very well, and I would absolutely love to grab lunch with him as the community manager, who I think has done incredible things, and I would definitely pick up the tab.
Thank you so much for sharing, Finn, and thank you for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure to hear from you.
Hey, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, next time I'm sure I'll get the memo to kind of get all swagged up. I look good in a tux too, you know, I look good in a tux too. But thank you so much for having me. Good luck to everyone. CMX is such an incredible community for us all as community professionals. I absolutely love it. I'm often seen at the London events with Michelle and the rest of the crew at CMX London. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Finn. Yes, today is sequins and bow ties allowed and encouraged. So next year...
I purposely didn't tell Finn so that he wouldn't make me look bad. So, you know, I have to be the best looking tux at this event, but next year Finn will come prepared, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think next year we'll do like a save the date and then make sure everybody knows like you're allowed to dress up to the nines if you so choose.
Well, we're gonna have to if Barack Obama's coming.
Well, we are coming close to the end of our awards ceremony today. And then we're going to get ready for the biggest CMAD party in the industry. But before we do that, we have a couple more awards to give away. Let's go to the next category. All right, folks. The best of the year. These are a couple categories. I like to think of these as like the best actor and actress and the best picture of the Community Industry Awards. So we're going to start with the Community Professional of the Year. This award is given to a community professional that has shown amazing resilience in their work, has continued to grow and support their community, and has had real tangible success over the course of 2021. This year, we had our judges pick their top choice for Community Professional of the Year from the nominations in the categories they were judging. Then the CMX team, including our 3 apprentices from last year, each had a chance to vote on the nominations. Again, all nominations were made anonymous, so we didn't actually know who the nominations were for. But from this process, we have the Community Professional of the Year. As such, there are no finalists for this category, but I'm pleased to introduce you to our 2022 Community Professional of the Year, Andrea Tomescu, who works at UiPath.
Being a finalist for the 2022 Community Industry Award ceremony is a huge honor, as people I admire are finalists too. One lesson that I learned in 2021 is that strategies and complex programs are good pillars for having a healthy community. But the thing that's the most important is that people want to be seen and heard, and that's what a community is about, seeing and hearing each other.
Amazing. Congratulations. Such a huge honor. So well deserved. I mean, to really stand out from the industry and all of the nominations that we had, a huge congratulations. And so now we have our very last award. And this is our second best of category. So that first one was for the community professional of the year. And this is for the community of the year. And this award is given similarly to a community that has shown resilience, growth, and incredible, tangible, measurable success over the course of 2021. We took the same approach here, and our judges chose which community they wanted to see win this category. It came from all of the nominations that already existed in the other categories. The CMX team had their say, and when we tallied up all of the votes, this community really did stand out. And so, our final award, without further ado, please join me in congratulating our Community of the Year, Esri.
To be nominated amongst so many other great communities doing such inspiring work, it means a lot to us. One thing that we're particularly proud of having accomplished this year is really summed up in one word: growth. Our community grew by 26% in year-over-year registrations, and our community program grew in reach, value, and impact. Also, we grew a lot with executive support and internal and external partnerships. So with that, we thank you for the consideration, we thank you for the support, and we wish all the other nominees good luck, and we encourage you to keep up the great work you're doing in the community in 2022 and beyond. Thank you.
This has been such an incredible display of the passion of our community members. David, may I say this is my favorite time of year? Because I love the Community Industry Awards and Community Manager Advancement Day. Yeah, I think this is my favorite day of the year.
I mean, it shows, because the amount of work that you put into making this day really special is just, it's unbelievable. Like, y'all should just see the amount of work that goes into putting the CIAs together, making sure the system is set up properly so that there isn't any scams or abuse of the system, making sure the judging goes smoothly, reviewing nominations. Like, it is an incredible amount of work to run this whole thing, and Beth runs this thing end to end. And so drop in the chat just some appreciation for the best community leader I could ask for at CMX. Very much appreciate you, Beth, and all the work that you put into this and all the work you put into the community and the industry. This event is a very good example of your passion and practice, and I think we're all better for it.
Well, thanks, David. That means a lot. It's definitely a work of passion. Like you said, I just enjoy it so much. I tend to procrastinate other tasks so that I can do the awards instead. I don't know if I should tell you that either, but in any event, congratulations to everyone who was nominated, all of our finalists and all of our winners. Thank you. Thank you to our judges who spend their time and energy reading through the nominations. I hope Michael gets better. Drink some water, darling. The fun doesn't stop here, folks. The CMAD party is just beginning. Please join me in dancing the day away to one of CMX's favorite DJs, DJ Airsun. I feel like I always so unceremoniously cut off the DJ at the end of these events. But that was so much fun. I hope you are all having a fun time chair dancing like our team was. Okay, I mean it. I said it before. This is my favorite time of year. I love the Community Industry Awards. I love Community Manager Appreciation Day. Congratulations to everyone who was nominated, all of our finalists, all of our winners. Thank you to all of our judges who spent their time and energy reading through all of the nominations. Big thank you, huge thank you to Anne-Marie, our beautiful brain, who makes events like this happen. Thank you to Mark, our fearless stage manager, who behind the scenes keeps us on time and even brings us on stage to dance. Thank you to Andrea Tulshidas and Finn Mapofu for joining me for some interviews. Big thank you, of course, to David for letting us do wonderfully fun things like this. You're such a great boss. And of course, thank you to all of you for joining us live today. Thank you to everyone who nominated someone, who voted for someone, and shared the Community Industry Awards with your network. To our entire community, thank you for the incredible work you're doing to make our industry an amazing place to be. Oh, okay. Happy Community Manager Appreciation Day to everyone in and around the CMX community. Today is about you, and I hope you take a moment to reflect on your incredible accomplishments from 2021 and get excited for 2022. This is our year, folks. So let's grab the bull by the horns and make our mark. Happy Community Manager Appreciation Day, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, what are you laughing at? Is this too weird?
Efforts to be, a part of. Ever since I started the career.
This is for you, iPad community. One more to go. Let's see, one more cut.
I was always a very strong storyteller and writer, and just like everyone else, I kind of made my way to community.
It's also a very good reminder for me that I can be a good professional and a decent...
Hello community builders, my name is Shadab Ashraf and I'm one of the finalists in Community Professional of the Year category for...
This day goes out to... Baby! Can you get the pizza rolls, please? They're in the oven. Thank you! Pizza rolls.
Thank you, CMX.
Thank you, CMX.